Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 run with the brand new patch. Hope you're all doing well. So today, there is an item that is available when you have killed the new enemy that just was released in the new patch 5 times. We've already done so once, but I want to make sure that I unlock that new item so we can take a look at it. So we're going to go hunting for the Gobbler again, and I felt like playing a creature run. This character is very powerful, so we shouldn't have to worry about accidentally dying while we're looking for the new enemy. And also, the lowered range that the creature gets will be pretty nice for being able to keep the Gobbler alive so we can see its later stages once it's eaten a bunch of materials. So we're going to play a nice classic creature run with the submachine gun. I'll also probably talk about this character a bit, so this will also double up as a guide for the creature if you are looking to get a win with this character. This character is very strong, but does have some downsides that can be hard to mitigate, so pretty nice to have important information about it. The main thing is you want a weapon that attacks quickly because your weapons scale with your curse, and so the creature with submachine gun gets extra damage on every single attack. We're definitely going to grab some early harvesting, and then we'll take an SMG. Finding extra XP gain on this character is incredible. The main downside of the creature is that you lose XP gain at the end of every wave. Getting a scar means we go 4 waves longer with normal amounts of XP, which is really powerful. Yeah, we'll definitely take Sharp Bullet. We want piercing shots on our submachine guns for sure. And then we're going to reroll here. Reroll again. I could buy non-submachine gun weapons, but I think I'm just going to reroll a couple more times. We missed a few times on other guns, so I could buy the shotgun. It's pretty reasonable to combine shotgun and submachine gun, but instead I'm just going to save my money. I'm not going to spend 6 on re-rolling because next wave, if we don't find SMGs, I'll just buy whatever guns show up in the shop. And of course, we'll be open to buying other weapons like miniguns, or if we are really lucky, like a Gatling laser or something. And go kill this tree. And here I could take 1 ranged damage, but you don't really need to buy ranged damage on the creature because your weapon damage scales with 35% of your curse, which goes up every time we level. And of course, we'll get more curse by locking items. So here I'm going to buy some harvesting. Unfortunately, neither of the items that we locked got cursed, but that's okay. We were able to pick up 2 SMGs. I would have loved to have 1 more material so I could reroll and potentially try to curse another weapon, but we're in pretty good shape so far. SMG is a slightly expensive weapon, and it's a gun, which is the biggest weapon tag in the game, so you're not that likely to roll it, because there's just a lot of other options that can show up when you reroll. So 4 after the first 2 waves isn't bad for submachine guns. Now, what we're really hoping is that we get one of those 2 items cursed. In particular, if we get the Sharp Bullet cursed, that's great. Sharp Bullet being cursed is incredible because not only do the benefits increase, you get more piercing, the damage loss per shot decreases, which is really important. Reroll here. We could take 30 range to offset the range penalty that this character has, but I just don't value that at all, especially with a gun weapon, because that's going to give us 50 range anyways. Nice. We got both items cursed, so that's amazing. So I'll definitely take the cursed scar. The question is, do I want a cursed submachine gun? Or do I want the submachine gun now, or do I just want to buy the Sharp Bullet? In general, on the creature, I think you should just buy cursed items and then reroll, because we're going to use our cursed fishhook to get more cursed items. Compass. I do want more movement speed. I would buy it if it got cursed, so I'll probably lock the compass, and then I'm going to do 1 more reroll. On this character, you should reroll pretty aggressively, because with a cursed fishhook, locking items in the shop is so valuable. So even though we already had the gun that we want locked in the shop, and usually on wave 3 I wouldn't reroll, because, oh, there's our Gobbler. Okay, so I'm going to run away and let it eat some materials, and see if we can get it to grow up big and strong. This is a short wave, so I will probably have to kill it as soon as it hits stage 2 here. Yeah, so I did I killed the Gobbler. Oh, so it comes with a health bar. I don't know if you saw that, but it looked like there was a health bar for the Gobbler. Or maybe that's showing when it will level up. But we did manage to kill the Gobbler again. I really liked the model for the higher tier Gobbler. I will take the pickup range. Knockback on submachine guns is also pretty good because they just attack so often, so even small amounts of knockback can keep enemies away from you. Reroll here, and we'll take 8 harvesting, going up to more than 21 harvesting, and then we're going to take 8% damage. Awesome to get a cursed SMG, and we'll buy the cursed compass. I will buy a propeller hat as well, and then reroll. Lock a submachine gun, we'll lock a mutation, and we'll lock a duct tape. That's great. We get to lock 3 items with our fishhook. We also found a cursed weapon, which is perfect for this character. So we made 147 and a bunch on the ground last wave, so I think the Gobbler actually multiplied our materials drop somehow, or has a lot of materials that it drops. So I'm curious if you let it get to stage 3, does it have a reward? Hopefully we get one in a longer wave a little later on into the run, so that we can give it time to grow up big and strong. I guess we also made extra money just because we have harvesting and we are we have a bunch of curse, so cursed enemies drop more money. The HP regen, normally I would be pretty happy to take this, but we're an SMG build. We don't really value HP regen at all. We're just going to use lifesteal instead, but I'll definitely take 10 more luck. That's great. Okay, really nice to get 2 more cursed items. I will buy the SMG even though it didn't get cursed, because we still want weapon levels here. And then I'm going to roll. We'll buy another submachine gun, and that will level up our cursed one, and then we're going to roll again, and we'll see if we can get another one cursed. And this is the way that this character works out. Ooh, do I want a harpoon gun? A cursed harpoon gun could be pretty interesting to pull enemies towards us, but I think I'm going to pass on that. Given that we're pretty wealthy, though, I am going to reroll here and see if I can lock something else good. Unfortunately, nothing in particular that we're excited about. So I had seen that the Gobbler has 0.3% chance to spawn each wave. I think that number must be wrong. Maybe it was 3%. Because I've found it in 2 out of 3 runs so far, which isn't obviously impossible if it's 0.3% chance to spawn each wave, but is fairly unlikely. Took a hit there, which is unnecessary, of course. I'll take the ice cube. We don't currently have a way to deal elemental damage, but it's only costing us 21, and this could be pretty powerful. And then we'll pick up 3 armor. We definitely want more armor, and I'll buy some dodge as well. Although I currently have no healing, which is more important than buying dodge, and our HP is really low, getting that level 3 dodge upgrade is pretty nice. So here, we have an interesting choice. I could buy this fishhook, or I could lock it and try to get it cursed. We have 7% pity bonus, so we have a 35% chance of getting the fishhook cursed, which could potentially give us more guaranteed curses. I think because we're very likely to take this run into endless mode just to try to get more gobblers to show up, I'm going to do the endless mode thing of locking key items until they get cursed. Fishhook, of course, being the most key. Take a coffee, and then we'll reroll here. Peaceful Bee costs me ranged damage, but if it gets cursed, I'll buy it, so I'm going to lock these 2, and then I'm going to roll again, and go to the next wave. Even though we're trying to curse that fishhook specifically, and we have a 7% pity bonus, you still just want to lock other stuff to try to curse. The way that having multiple items interacts with a pity bonus is that the order in which it rolls is applied randomly, but the pity bonus works until you get an item cursed. So it doesn't actually affect the odds very much at all if you have multiple items cursed. And then you're getting the value, of course, or multiple items locked. And then you're getting the value, of course, of having those items locked. All right. any more Gobblers gonna show up. Here I am going to reroll. Actually, I'm just going to take 3 lifesteal. I'm interested in max HP as well, but getting some healing on this character is going to be pretty powerful. We'll take the Peaceful Bee here. It does cost me a ranged damage, but Dodge, Harvesting, and Curse are really good. Ugly Tooth, I think, is worth just buying, even not cursed. And Clockwork Wasp, I have 4 movement speed, so I'll just buy that as well. But we're going to keep the Fishhook locked because we want to curse that one specifically. I'll lock the little muscly dude, of course, because we need max HP, and then we're going to roll, and we'll lock the Hedgehog. This does give us ranged damage, which we don't care that much about, but is still worth buying on submachine guns. It's not like just because we get damage scaling from Curse, we can't buy ranged damage. It's just a lower priority. Now, I would love Black Flag. That's probably the best item we could possibly find. I actually don't know. Depending on how the rules for spawning the Gobbler work, it might or might not be easier to unlock it in Endless mode. Or easier to get it if you go into Endless mode, or easier if you just replay the first, like, 5 waves over and over. Obviously, that's not very exciting gameplay, though, so I'm not going to be doing that. I'll take the Goldfish. We will be able to get higher level items, and that's always fun. We'll take 3 armor here. Nothing got cursed again, so we'll buy the Muscly Dude, because I still do want the max HP. Hedgehog, I think, is still worth buying, even not cursed, and then we'll buy the Bone Dice, and then reroll. Lock the Fairy, and lock Community Support. These are both going to be solid items. Community Support, especially if it gets cursed. Still hoping for our Fishhook to actually ever do something. Up to 21% pity bonus with the cursed Fishhook. I can't complain too much, because we've gotten a few powerful cursed items, of course, but it sure does feel like Fishhook misses more than is statistically likely. The fact that we've found this much armor already is really nice and does make up for our low HP somewhat. Also, having piercing shots is just really good for this character. We're getting so much more clear speed as a result of that. Here we'll take 9 max HP, and then I'll pick up 15 luck. Again, nothing got cursed, so our pity bonus is up to 35%. So Obliterator, not normally a particularly powerful item for this character, because it attacks really slowly, so it doesn't benefit from the curse damage scaling. But it is a really fun item, so I'm going to lock it and see if we can get it cursed here. I'll take the Community Support, even not cursed, and then I'm going to do more rerolls. You can see why normally I don't advise waiting to get specific items cursed when you're only playing 20 waves, because you can just give up a shop slot for like 10 waves in a row, and we could have had a lot of rerolls and more items cursed if we had just bought this Fishhook, but since there's a chance we're going into Endless mode, so our sort of extreme long-term value does matter, it is worth trying to curse the Fishhook specifically. We will eventually want to pick up some range, because we will at some point need to fix the range loss, but we can go down to like minus 300 range before it becomes an issue, and at some point we will get a good cursed range item that'll just completely negate that range penalty, so we don't need to spend time or effort looking for range. Killing the curse aliens, of course, really nice for this character. Every point of curse is more damage on each of our attacks, and also boosts our economy enormously. so we've only seen the one Gobbler so far. Here I'm going to pick up a little more lifesteal. We want to get up to about 10% lifesteal. Okay, nice. We finally got a bunch of items cursed. So we'll take the cursed fishhook, we'll take a cursed tractor, that's a huge amount of harvesting, and the cursed insanity will be nice as well. We can try to get the obliterator cursed still, and then we'll do some rerolls. Goblet, I will just buy here, because that's a decent amount of extra healing, and then we'll do some reroll again, lock the insanity, and reroll one more time. Cursed celery tea would be amazing if we could get that. That offsets the XP penalty from the creature. I don't care about the penalty of celery tea because our damage is so high that we don't care about increasing enemy health at all. So we'll buy it whether or not it gets cursed, but if it does get cursed, fairly likely given that we have double cursed fishhook, then we'll be very happy. The Obliterator is kind of the exact opposite of the type of weapon you should normally buy on the creature. You want weapons that attack really quickly to take advantage of your curse damage scaling as much as possible, because it's basically like you get a few dozen points of ranged damage for free. But it's such a fun weapon that we don't get to use that often, because we often are doing random weapon challenges, or it's not very good, that I'm going to give it a go here anyways. I will take the reinforced steel. Our move speed is okay, so we're going to pick that up. And then here, we actually have 15 dodge already, so I'm going to buy a little more dodge to make us a little tankier. I'm going to buy the celery tea. Like I said, even though it didn't get cursed, we want to offset the creature's XP penalty as quickly as possible. And then I'm going to combine the cursed submachine guns, because of course those are the most valuable. Let's do some rerolls here. I'll take a treasure map. I'll take a whistle. If I buy the whistle, I can reroll, which is good because I want to lock stuff for our fish hooks. Pretty bad shop there, unfortunately. We're really getting unlucky on finding more submachine guns also. Now, the Obliterator also suffers from the fact that we have reduced range, but its range is so high already that it mostly doesn't matter again. Obliterator is best at killing elites. It does massive single target damage, but because it attacks so slowly, it's pretty bad at clearing waves. But when we get to the elite, it's going to just two-tap it for us. Definitely want to kill this blobfish and take out some lampreys, and then also the curse alien in order to get some additional points of curse. Still no additional gobblers. I don't know if it's possible to get more than one per wave also. I haven't checked that, but I believe it is. We'll keep taking attack speed. I'm going to take 7% crit chance. I will eventually want maximum crit chance. We'll take some lifesteal here. I'm going to buy the coupon, corrupted shard, and cursed black belt is great. This gets our XP gain back to positive. So with that and the celery tea, we've offset the creature's XP loss penalty completely. I don't want the blood donation. Self-damage items are typically bad if you're going for endless mode, because what will eventually keep you alive is just tardigrades. It's the only thing that matters in endless mode in terms of defenses. I'll lock the scarf and the sunglasses, buy the bat and do a reroll, and we'll lock a corrupted shard here as well. Still no luck on finding more submachine guns, but of course you reroll. Although you reroll more when you are playing a fishhook build, you see fewer items because you just lock so many items that you are giving up on a lot of free rerolls. And we played with, one of our slots in the shop was taken up by that second fishhook for like 4 waves or however long it took. Our damage should be more than high enough that we can buy the scarf safely next wave and blow up the elite, even with the additional movement speed it's going to get. A lot of these enemies look like they're surviving a long time, or are surviving a long time because they have curse. So they are significantly healthier. Elites can't get cursed, so our high damage is going to be at its best against the elite. I'm going to take 10% more attack speed just to make our Obliterator a little better at killing it. I will buy the Scarf, Erupted Shard, Sunglasses. Yeah, it's probably worth buying anyways, and then we'll reroll. Ooh, do I want a Blunderbuss? Sure. We'll lock the Nuke Launcher and the Blunderbuss. I'll also lock Frozen Heart. These types of items are really good when you get them cursed because they will give you more scaling, and the additional stats that you get will be increased as well. Oh, and a Barnacle, incredible find, of course. Alright, come here, Elite. Now, the Elite keeps running away, so we're not able to focus damage on it easily. Gonna back off and heal up, just for safety. I was fine playing that with low HP. I feel like my my Obliterator, like, never shot the Elite, but it must have, and I was just missing the graphic for it. I'm curious what its damage will be at the end of this wave. Okay, that's a loot alien, not a gobbler. Making pretty good money each wave, even though we currently don't have a significant amount of economy items. I'll take the Wolf Helmet for extra luck. Okay, Bean Teacher, an amazing find, obviously, especially cursed like that. I'm going to take 9 Dodge, because once you get Dodge maxed out, it's super powerful. I will buy the Frozen Heart, because it got cursed. I think we want to try to get the Barnacle cursed. Blunderbuss, though, I'm going to buy not cursed, and we'll try to get the Nuke Launcher and the Barnacle to be our cursed items. Try to get the Stone Skin cursed as well, and another cursed Scarf is just a lot of stats. So we're just going to try to lock items in the shop. Try to have 4 things locked every shop so that we can maximize our fish hooks. I do need some more max HP, though, so I'll have to roll for that soon. But I've gotten a lot of levels, so we should be able to pick up 9 max HP in the next level up screen. We haven't found a good ranged upgrade, so I may take, when we hit level 25, I may end up taking a plus 60 range from our level 4 stat, because we are now starting to feel the effects of having low range. It's hurting our Obliterator and our piercing shots. But mostly you can see it's not costing us clear speed. It just will eventually if we let our range continue to decrease without finding anything to offset it. The pencil I will take just for the 1 regen, and we'll take a blindfold. That's perfect. Another sunglasses. Yep, we've got more crit chance now. And then here, I'm going to re-roll this. I do want the dodge, but I actually need max HP more, because our max HP was pretty terrible. Let's take 7% more crit chance, and now we're at 64% crit chance, which is great. We can then buy the cursed nuke launcher. We'll buy the scarf, and unfortunately I can't re-roll, but we've got 2 good items locked, so if either of those get cursed, we'll be very happy. The funny thing is that a lot of these items, a lot of these weapons are just significantly worse than just higher level submachine guns would be, because the damage scaling from curse that you get on the creature makes SMGs just ludicrously efficient. So items like the Obliterator are significantly worse than just a leveled up submachine gun. But it is more fun. Kill a few of these curse aliens. Here, I'm going to just take 6 dodge, and then I'm going to pick up 9 more max HP. So now we're at a much more reasonable max HP value. Cursed Barnacle, perfect. That's exactly what we want. We'll take the Alien Worm. I'll buy the Gummy Berserker as well at this point because attack speed we want, range we want, and it gives us a regen. So although it does cost me an armor, which is a huge cost, I still do want that item. And then here we're going to buy the Cursed Metal Detector and lock the Submachine Gun. Statue, even cursed, we have no interest in. Once we're in to the later game in Endless Mode, it'll be fairly easy to get items that are just hundreds of range, because we'll have so many cursed items. Ideally, we'll find a third fish hook that we can curse at some point, so we can start cursing everything that we buy. And then we'll just use our extra range to blow up everything on the map. Making sure to clear these blobfish because every point of curse, so valuable for this character. One thing we haven't found is a single additional enemy spawn item, which we definitely could use. So here you can see the improved stats from the Barnacle. I'll take 19% extra damage. I'll buy the Submachine Gun. Gosh, the Stone Skin refuses to get cursed. I'm actually just going to not buy it. I'm no longer that worried about my max HP, so we're going to pass on the Stone Skin now. I'm going to combine that, buy the SMG. Decomposing Flesh is worth buying because we do want a bunch of lifesteal, and this will eventually get us to 100% pretty easily. A reroll here. Cursed Flamethrower is a good way to heal, but not exactly what we're looking for. Perfect finds here. Wow, this is actually a really interesting shop. So I'm going to lock the lure. I could buy the Vigilante Ring now, or I could buy the Cursed SMG now. I think I'll buy the Vigilante Ring just for slightly extra value. Although maybe what I should have done is bought the SMG and rerolled, because that would let me potentially try to curse more items. Right now we only have one thing locked. I think this is fine, though. So you can see there our Obliterator just 2-tapped the Elite for us, basically, while our submachine guns did massive amounts of damage to it as well. That was a dangerous position, actually, because I walked in between all of those pufferfish, and so when they all exploded, I was in a spot where I couldn't easily dodge, and I also was not really paying attention to those enemies. Given how much curse there is, enemies still do have a lot of health, so we still have to be careful with how we're playing the game here. Now, if you're going for, like, 1,000 wave endless runs, then you'll eventually transition to dealing damage only with explosions from Spicy Sauce. That's not the plan for this run. Hopefully we get out of this much sooner than that. I'll take 19% dodge here. Now we're over dodge cap, and then we'll take 6 armor. Spyglass, we definitely want to curse. This is a very important item to curse for endless mode, where you're mostly just re-rolling for specific items over and over again. So a cursed Spyglass is a very valuable tool there. I don't need the Peaceful Bee anymore. I'll roll here. I'm gonna buy the Lemonade, and we'll lock the Blunderbuss. I would buy that if it got cursed. Though we will probably replace these Blunderbusses soon. They're not that exciting for us right now. There we go. That's one loot alien down. And another one. We should see 4, I think, because we have a cursed lure. And then maybe more if we get lucky on the spawns. So we've gotten 4 so far. There's a 5th. Nice. We might even get a 6th. They loot aliens spawn at 5-second increments, so they can spawn at 45, 35, 25, 15, and 5 seconds remaining in the wave. So if you get a bunch early, you can often expect to see more later in the wave if you have a lure or something like that. Take a garden. Perfect. We'll take the glasses, offset our range penalty. Wheelbarrow. Yep, we'll take that. Another glasses. Blindfold. We don't need the dodge anymore, but the crit chance is good. We'll take some percent damage because my percent damage is quite low. Here we go. Got a cursed spyglass. That's perfect. Cursed baby squid. The blunderbuss I'm going to roll past because it didn't get cursed. I will definitely buy gentle alien. That's exactly the type of item that we want. And then we'll roll here. Let's... I guess I'll just buy the SMG, buy the baby gecko, we'll roll, I'll buy the lumberjack shirt. I could try to get this cursed, but we don't particularly need to. Lock this, and I'm going to lock the bat and reroll, because I'd like to lock more items and try to curse them. Then we're going to go into endless mode, and we're still going to be looking for gobblers here. I'm going to kill the whale boss first, because it's the more dangerous of the two. So we'll be looking for another fishhook, a tardigrade, or several tardigrade, as many as we can get our hands on. A second spyglass and triple dangerous bunny, that type of thing, because you really need to reroll for specific items if you're going it for a deeper endless run, which this might turn into, because we're looking for gobblers at the moment. I don't know if they can spawn on the boss wave. And we will at some point have so much random damage around the map that it will be impossible for me to keep it alive long enough for it to grow. Yeah, we'll take the seashell. That's going to be fun. Extra stomach. Perfect. We're going to grab this. So we could also decline this and then try to get it cursed if we wanted to absolutely maximize our value, but it's worth just grabbing here. I'm going to reroll to try to get a higher level upgrade, and we'll roll again. Here I am going to take 72 range, offset that range penalty. With Barnacle, it's really worth rerolling until we get a level 3 upgrade because it has such a higher impact on higher level upgrades. Do I want percent damage, armor? I think I'm just going to take 6 armor. Our armor's actually really low. We're going to buy all these cursed items. That's perfect. I'll take a charcoal just to give us the 1 regen from fairy, and then or 2 regen because we have a cursed fairy. Book for the same reason. We'll do a reroll here. I'll buy the jerky. I'm going to buy Snowball just to remove it from the pool. We're obviously not really building elemental damage, but when Snowball is a unique item, if you buy it, it can no longer show up, which means that it just makes the rest of your shop better. I'm going to do some rerolls here. I'll take the tentacles. Similarly, we want to get those out of the pool. I guess we'll buy that, try to get to 100% crit chance, head injury, Cyclops worm, and defective steroids I'll try to curse as well. So if we don't see more gobblers in the next, I don't know, 20 waves, then I will probably conclude that it's easier to get it by playing run over and over again and get the next few gobbler kills off camera. But it's kind of fun to just do an endless run just for the sake of doing an endless run as well. Also, we don't need to specifically step on consumables for our Extra stomach, that'll just happen naturally. They'll all get pulled in at the end of the wave, and we'll always get the 8 HP every wave. Recycle the coral, we don't need that. I'll take a claw tree. Barricade, we don't need. I'll take the fuel tank just because it's cursed. We want as much curse as we can get. Reroll here. Take 6 more armor. And yeah, we'll buy some cursed items. I don't really care about the extra engineering, so we're buying Strange Book just to pull it out of the pool here. I will lock the wings. I'll actually buy the glasses because we do actually want to improve our range. Oh, nice. Bag, which we haven't found yet. Do a couple more rerolls, and yeah, we'll lock a dynamite. Another unique item for us. And it works with, of course, with our nuke launcher. Now, it's also possible that a Gobbler has spawned and we've just one-shot it before I saw it. I honestly don't remember. It's been so long since I've unlocked things in Brotato, if there's a pop-up when you unlock it during the run, or if it doesn't show up until after the run, what you unlocked during that run. I believe there's a pop-up when you unlock it, so when we get our 5th Gobbler kill, we should see that banner show up. But honestly, I don't remember which of those is the case. The last time I unlocked things in this game, of course, was when Abyssal Terrors launched. We'll recycle the barricade. I'll take a scar. I'm going to pick up more % damage. Really nice to get a cursed bag. That's going to be worth a lot of money. And then we'll buy all these items. Let's do a reroll here. I'm going to lock the scared sausage because, again, we want to pull uniques out of the pool. Lock this submachine gun, and we'll lock a bait as well. Okay, nice. We're fast now, which I appreciate. Really nice to get some extra movement speed. I'll want to cap my move speed eventually, so that we don't end up too fast for me to be able to dodge enemies. But especially because we are losing range on this character, and we haven't found like Baby Elephant and Cyberball, which often are what actually kills enemies in this stage of endless runs. We don't yet have items like that, so we actually have to attack them with our weapons. I do love Seashell. Just such a fun item. It showed up in a box, so we couldn't hold out to get it cursed, but the extra projectiles are just so great. I'm going to re-roll this, and yeah, we'll take another 72 range, so that's going to boost our range. We'll buy all these items, buy the bait, we'll roll. Erupted Shard, yes. Shady Potion, yes. Neither of these, I don't think the rocket launcher is that exciting, even cursed, so I'm going to pass on it. That was slightly poorly arranged by me. I didn't do the math, so I wasn't able to lock anything, which you definitely want to lock stuff every single wave when you're playing a fishhook run. But I didn't have enough to reroll. We haven't found a hunting trophy or a black flag, and those are very important items to keep your economy viable as you continue on into deeper endless runs. So I would say this run is not on pace for a super deep endless run, just because we haven't found a couple of the key items, so I will probably die, before we hit wave 80, but we probably won't get to that point, because I will run out of time. Here I'm going to reroll and reroll again. Yeah, we'll take 32 luck. I want increased stats and better items. I'll buy a baby elephant. That can help us kill enemies, and then we'll reroll. And buy the lighthouse again just to pull it out of the pool. Shackles, I don't mind capping my move speed at 60, so we're happy with that, and I'll roll here. Ball and chain we don't want. This is one of the uniques that we do not want. But I'll lock a mirror. A cursed mirror could be pretty good. It gives you a discount on uniques. two of the same elite is often more dangerous than two different elites, because if they offset their attack pattern slightly, one can fill in the gaps in the other's attack pattern very easily. Like for that elite, you're supposed to stand in between the rotating sort of beams, but if the two are offset, then the rotating beams will be overlaid so that you will not be able to stand in between them. Okay, took 22 damage there, and yeah, we were able to heal that back up. So we're not yet at the point where any damage is instantly lethal. That will, of course, happen in the next 15 waves or so. We'll reach the point where no matter our HP or defenses, any hit will instantly kill us. And at that point, we'll need high dodge, which we've got, and tardigrades, which we don't have. Don't need the campfire for anything. Feather, I guess I'll take a ranged damage. Why not? We'll take the jelly corrupted shard. Yes. And more attack speed. Probably. More attack speed's really good. Now, lock the recycling machine. I would like to get this cursed. And I'll buy these two items. Oh, obviously wrong order there. I needed to buy the unique because, or buy the mirror because it gives you this 17% item price discount until you buy an item that it can duplicate. And since unique items can't be duplicated, if you buy the mirror, I would have gotten the discount on the shackles. So obviously, very bad ordering there. I'm going to lock the gentle alien. I would like to get these cursed. And then I'm going to reroll. Lock a whetstone as well. Actually, we have decomposing flesh. We don't need the whetstone. Okay, we'll lock the dangerous bunny. If we get this cursed, then we can duplicate dangerous bunny, which will be great. Because that'll get us 2 cursed bunnies right away, and that's another milestone for this run, is trying to get those. Gonna need a little more damage. We actually have not picked up that much damage output, so we are starting to have trouble killing stuff. Still looking for another gobbler. Another item that I probably should have tried to get cursed is the whistle. Higher chance of loot aliens appearing is, of course, really powerful. So if we had gotten the whistle cursed, that would have mattered a lot. Cute monkey. Yeah, we will eventually want 13 of these, so we'll pick that up. We'll take that because it's cursed. We'll reroll here. I'll reroll again and again, and I'm going to take more range because I want to kill enemies a little sooner. We'll take the discount on the cursed recycling machine, and then I'm actually going to leave these 2 items locked, because I still want to duplicate them and curse them before I buy them. The cute monkey, yeah, I'll lock actually all of these items as well, and we'll see what gets cursed. So we're not spending any money that wave, really, but that's okay. Now, if our fish hooks don't produce this wave, then we'll have a tougher decision to make as to how we're going to use our mirror. And whether we're going to just keep floating the gentle aliens and dangerous bunnies until they get cursed. The bunny, we're always going to wait until it gets cursed to buy it, because it's so important to get that item cursed in endless mode. But the gentle alien I might just buy. So now we're definitely at the point where if gobblers are spawning, I am not seeing them. Yeah, I'll take a warrior helmet. We can still use some defenses at this point. Okay, perfect. So here, I'm going to duplicate the dangerous bunnies, because this also is great, because we got the high roll on the curse on dangerous bunny. You can either have it give 2 or 3 rerolls. So getting the 3 reroll version duplicated is incredible. We're going to get so many free items here, and then we'll just buy all these and a reroll. Another nuke launcher. Yeah, let's lock that. We could get that cursed. I will take a small fish and a mushroom. We don't have those yet. Okay, nice. We get to lock a fish hook, try to get another cursed hook. I'll roll again, and we're doing all our free rerolls here. We actually don't need the cape, right? We're over dodge cap, so we'll buy Toxic Sludge just for the curse. I'll buy Shady Potion, keep rerolling, and we'll lock a submachine gun, reroll again, and lock a submachine gun. If that gets cursed, we'll be very happy. So, perfect shop for us. Hopefully our fish hook gets cursed and we can buy it right away. We still need to get to 100% crit chance, and we need a hunting trophy or a black flag. Ideally, a cursed version. And we still need a tardigrade. This dynamic is also why I often don't do endless mode runs on the channel, is because once you get past wave 30 or so, you end up just rolling for specific items just over and over in the shop. And so you end up just making fewer decisions later on. I don't need more piercing, right? We've got additional piercing of 2 already. Our pierce damage is minus 12%. I guess we could take the bandana. I think that's fine. Boxing glove, sure, I'll take that. We'll take a tentacle, and then... Nice. Okay, so we got the cursed fish hook. So now we have 34... Fish hook is additive, so it's going to give the full chance. 34, 28, and 30. So we do not have a 100% chance of cursing items, but that's okay. I'm going to pass on this submachine gun and do a reroll here. I could pick up another cursed SMG, but honestly, I'm looking for more exciting items. Handcuffs, I don't want to cap my max HP at this point, so we're gonna pass on that, but we'll definitely lock a giant belt. I'll just buy celery tea, I'll roll here, lock a submachine gun, and roll again. Weird ghosts, we have 148 regen, so it's safe to buy that. And do I want to try to curse this submachine gun? Probably not. I'll try to curse the insanity instead. See how quickly we're regenerating here. Actually, I don't need to buy the insanity, so trying to curse that. Well, actually, I haven't checked my crit chance recently. You can see our damage is starting to suffer a bit because we have the celery tea, so we've increased enemy HP this wave. But we have enough knockback that we're just killing stuff anyways. This is the point where I have to be a little more careful with my movement, though. Because our defenses are pretty bad for an endless mode run at this stage. In part because we've found none of the important economy items. No black flag, no hunting trophy. So you can see we're getting a little overwhelmed by the buffed enemies at this point. Yeah, we'll take that. I'll recycle the blood donation because that will take our tardigrades off whenever we eventually get those. And then giant belt is great. I'm going to recycle the blunderbuss. Well, the blunderbuss is way behind in terms of damage compared to our cursed weapons, so we'll do that. I'm not at 100% crit chance, so buying that will help. I'll take a coupon as well. Cursed coupon I could hold out for, and I think I will, but I'll buy a baby squid. I'll roll again. Level 4 cursed rocket launcher, just not that exciting at this point. Take some more ranged damage, because our ranged damage is actually really low. Just buy an upgraded submachine gun, and then reroll, lock a bag, and a tree. Killed all the elites and bosses there very quickly. Still have not seen another Gobbler, as far as I'm aware. I'm going to recycle the bowler hat. 293 materials is a lot. Obviously, we don't need harvesting. I'll take the bait, though. Terrified onion. It's a unique item that we don't have yet, but I'm still just going to recycle it. So we will lose armor at the end of every wave with the ashes, but I'm going to take it anyways. Armor is not going to be important that soon, pretty soon, because any hit we take will just one-shot us anyways. Buy the coupon. I'm going to keep the bag locked, because that I want to get cursed. And then I guess we'll swap to... let's see. How's our weapons doing? I think the Obliterator is no longer really pulling its weight, so we're going to swap to the cursed nuke launchers. And then we're going to roll here. See if we can get this submachine gun cursed. And we'll buy a coffee. More attack speed is still just good at this point. Buy Corrupted Shard. Particle Accelerator, that's a fun item, so I'm going to lock that and maybe get that cursed. We'll buy a little range and keep rolling. Buy a Lost Duck, keep rolling. Lock a Boxing Glove because it's another cursed item. Some of these things that we're doing, like locking these weapons for multiple waves and stuff, is not what I would recommend if you're trying to optimize your endless run to go as long as possible. Because, of course, for this character, we have a specific mission in mind, and also I want to actually have fun with the character, but like buying that nuke launcher doesn't actually make us that much better at killing enemies. So for a lot of versions of an endless run, you would just be hard rolling at this point for tardigrades and the specific economy items that keep endless runs afloat that I've mentioned a few times already. Let's go with, yeah, I'll just keep getting more range. Why not? And then here, cursed bag, cursed boxing glove, sure. I'll buy the small magazine, I'll roll here, I'll lock a celery tea because I do want more of those, and then more XP gain from Scar, also pretty good. So for example, like the particle accelerator here is not going to improve our character significantly, but I'm just having fun buying it. Still have not seen evidence of gobblers existing in endless mode. I assume that they can still spawn in endless mode runs. But it does seem like the fastest way to get the unlock is going to be to just start runs over and over again and play the first 5 waves or so. Just over and over until you get a bunch of gobblers spawning. So if that ends up being what I have to do, I'll do that off camera so you don't have to watch it. We'll recycle there. Yeah, we'll take more damage. Crystal, that's going to be great. More attack speed, sure. Little Frog I don't really need. Defective Steroids I'll take because it's cursed. And we'll just keep buying range when we see it. Take the Scar and Celery Tea. And I'm going to go ahead and combine and buy a Particle Accelerator. This cursed submachine gun is a pretty good version of a cursed submachine gun, so I'll hang on to that to replace our other SMG with. Actually, I feel like we can get more exciting weapons. Not necessarily better weapons, but more fun weapons. So I'm going to roll past the SMGs. We'll definitely take the pumpkin, though. Saltwater, we're going to lock. It's a unique item, which we want to pull out of the pool by Corrupted Shard. We'll reroll here and reroll again. And keep rerolling, because at this point, I'm really just looking for specific items to help us out. Like this coupon is very important, so we're going to lock that. One thing I love about Particle Accelerator is that we have the seashell, so you can see it's firing multiple beams. Creature is just so powerful that it's a very good choice for getting to a deeper Endless Mode run. It will eventually be outscaled by Demon or Druid, but it's a very good option as well. Nope. Got that loot alien kill across the map with our particle accelerator there. Sure, we'll take that. It's cursed. We'll take that. It's unique. And then here, I'll just pick up some more ranged damage. Coupon is good. Saltwater is good. Let's do a reroll. Celery teas, I'm still just going to buy even when they're not cursed, because these just give you value over time, so you want those. We have enough curse that I don't need to buy just random cursed items like that scope. So I think I'm actually just going to keep rolling. Scar, we will lock. Roll here. Roll again. Spyglass will lock, of course. I'll roll again and roll again. Celery tea, we're going to lock. And goldfish, is that likely to get me tardigrades or anything like that? Probably not, so we're just going to do a reroll. Since rerolls get more expensive every wave, you basically just want to max out your rerolls in Endless Mode, because you will only get so many each shop, and they're your most important resource. So that's what you want to spend. Like, the vast majority of your money is going to be spent on rerolling to get the items that you specifically need. Also, important to note that if we had found a black flag or a hunting trophy earlier in this run, we would have tens of thousands more materials to work with, and the character would be much stronger. So that's why I keep coming back to those items. Okay, so I took a hit there and didn't die. So we're not yet at the point where enemies just annihilate me instantly. Still have a few waves to go before then. Oh, I didn't kill that loot alien. That's actually really bad. I'll take the cyber ball here. Starfish. So this is another item that's very important. The question is, do I want to recycle this? If we were going for like a 1000 wave run, I would, because you would want to get the starfish cursed. Since we're not doing that, I'm just going to buy it. But it is important to note that you actually really want to get that item cursed when you're playing an Endless Mode run. I'll buy the Scar here. I could upgrade to a level 4 SMG, but again, I kind of would prefer to just replace that with a more fun weapon. Treasure Map, another very important item, of course, for Endless Mode runs. We'll try to get that one cursed. Greek Fire will lock as well, and then we'll roll. Sunken Bell is a unique, so we'll buy that, and we'll keep re-rolling. I'll buy a Lost Duck and then re-roll again, and we didn't get to lock another item. I'm still buying luck because it just increases the chances of us getting free crates, and items are getting so expensive that free items are one of the best sources of economy for this character now. When you're playing an Endless Mode run, Brotato really becomes a deck building game, much more than a survival game, where you're trying to maximize your shops more than you are trying to actually like play the game. Because at this point, you know, our damage is high enough and everything, we can just sit AFK, and we're not in any danger. So we're not really playing the game of Brotato so much as we're playing the game of shop management. And it's important to swap your attitude as to what kind of game you're playing when you get into these deeper endless mode runs, if you want to maximize your chances. Lantern's a unique, so yep, we'll take that. And wings, I don't really care about these stats. I'm going to recycle. Here, I'll just take some more max HP. And then nice, we got a bunch of cursed items, so we'll buy all the cursed uniques. Let's buy Scared Sausage and Greek Fire and roll again. Gentle Alien we want to curse. Anything else here that we care about? Not really. We'll lock a coupon and keep on rolling. And I'm going to lock the Particle Accelerator just because that's a fun item that we can upgrade to. Fun weapon we can upgrade to. At some point, if I had planned to go to wave like 70, or 1,000, I would need to just hard roll for Hunting Trophy now, because we have reached the point where our income is simply not keeping up with the cost of items, because we don't have those key economy pieces. Oh, I took damage there. Didn't actually notice what hit me. Probably walked into a projectile. But again, didn't die, so that's not bad. Yeah, we'll take additional luck. We'll recycle this. Bait, I'm going to take. And helmet, we're going to recycle. Gambling token, recycle. I do want to get to 100% lifesteal, so I'll just take the 6 lifesteal here. We'll buy the coupon. And yeah, I'm just going to sell this submachine gun. I'd rather have particle accelerators. They're just more fun. Roll here. We'll take a cursed scar. Black belt. At this point, I think we're passing on. We're really just looking for very specific items now. So we're going to pass on most of these cursed items. We'll lock the coupon. We'll roll. Nail, I'm just going to buy. That's a unique item we can get out of the pool. And we'll roll. Tentacle, I don't care about cursing, but I do want it out of the pool, so I'm just going to buy it here. Pearl, another very important item to get cursed, so we're very happy to see that. And then I'm going to roll a couple more times. I'll lock a cute monkey, because again, that pulls an item out of the pool once you get 13 of them. Double particle accelerator just becomes so much fun. So many flashing lights. Okay, so I almost died there. I honestly wasn't expecting to get to wave 40 and still have no tardigrades. That's fairly unusual. So we might actually die a little earlier than I predicted, because I said we would probably make it to wave 60 or 80 at least if I kept going with this run, but because I've prioritized buying some fun weapons, and because, as I've mentioned, we're missing a couple key pieces for endless mode runs, this build might not make it as far. Explosive turret, we don't care about, we just want the money. Metal, we don't care about, we just want the money. Because again, rerolls are our only important resource at this point. We're over 100% crit chance. I'll just take some attack speed. We'll take some percent damage. Those are fine. And then here we've got another cursed coupon. Perfect. And we'll buy a cursed pearl. Also perfect. And rip and tear. I don't care about the damage from the rip and tear, but again, we want it out of the pool. Vigilante ring is worth locking because this gives us value over time. Cyberball, I don't care about. I'm going to keep rolling. Bean Teacher is a little interesting just because we're the creature, but I think we are still passing on it. Baby with a beard, you could buy earlier, but we've actually not built ranged damage because as the creature, we get additional damage much faster just from building up our curse. Eye patch, I do want more piercing shots. I don't think that's an important item to buy. I'll take a cursed scar, though. I'll take more corrupted shards. I'll keep rolling. Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. All right, here's a hunting trophy. This is massive for us. I will take the plastic explosive as well, and then we'll roll, and roll again, and lock a celery tea. So there's another case where the fact that we had 2 of the same elite actually put me, or 3 of the same elite, actually put me in a lot of danger. No, only 2, I think. I just hadn't killed it yet. And I walked into that attack. And you can see why tardigrade becomes so important in deeper endless runs. If I had focused more on defenses, we could potentially survive more hits, but we are at the point where, as of like wave 40, any hit will be lethal. So we do need to get tardigrades so that if I mess up my movement, then we don't just die. I will take the Kraken's Eye. We don't really care about the damage output. One endless mode possibility is you can do damage over time ticks with Kraken's Eye and just use this to one-shot everything on the map every second. That's not what we're building for in this run, though. We just want money here, and I'll reroll. We'll take... don't really need any of these stats. Let's just take some HP, I guess. Cursed Hunting Trophy, Cursed Vigilante Ring, Cursed Celery Tea, all perfect. Potato I don't really need. These stats are just not that relevant at this point. On the other hand, we definitely want the pumpkin. We want these items. So now our piercing is positive, so that's totally fine. Keep on rolling. Penguin we want. Scar at this point I can pass on. We have enough XP gain, so I actually don't need to buy more XP gain items. And again, we're just looking for unique items, basically. Anvil, for example, is a great one. This will give us a lot of stats and damage over and value over time. This is a celery tea wave, so I do have to be a little bit careful. But now we should be making significantly more money because we have the hunting trophy. So when we kill enemies, we get income. And of course, because we're in endless mode, there are so many enemies on the field that the hunting trophy is going to give us hundreds of materials every wave. And that will give us more rerolls to hunt for tardigrades. We're also well past the point where if I see a Gobbler, or if a Gobbler spawns, I will never see it, so... The purpose of this run definitely a little bit outscaled at this point. Yeah, we're gonna recycle the Lost Duck, we'll recycle the Jelly. Sure, I'll take 6 armor. I'll take 24 luck and 6 more armor. We'll buy the Anvil and Penguin. These are unique items or limited items. Lock a Gentle Alien. I'll just buy a lure. I'll roll here. I'll roll again. And again, we're just going to keep rolling. Coil. This is another item that we want cursed. Oh, actually, I should have bought the other unique that was in the shop there. Goldfish, I'm going to buy and then not reroll. I'll just buy the small fish here, because this is a pretty good way to just one-shot enemies. And then when we reroll again, we'll get the goldfish value. I'm going to go a couple more waves, because I'm still having fun with this. Oh, I'm not going to go a couple more waves, because we didn't find tardigrades, and I just got blown up. So there we go. I just walked into a couple enemies and died immediately. And that's how your endless mode runs are going to go when you don't have a tardigrade. But you can see our hunting trophy gave us 200 materials right away, and this was pretty fun. You can also see that we have a solid block of just constant cursed items in by the end of the run, which is really, really fun as well. Let's look at our stats a little bit. We have 530 curse. We ended up with, let's see, what can we actually check? Even though I died immediately, my weapons all did between 150,000 and a million damage. We saved 2,500 materials on our coupons. Not that much, actually. We got those somewhat late. Treasure maps gave us 17 items. 27 levels affected with Barnacle, and what else? 151 HP from the extra stomach, 1420 materials from our bags. We only found 2 of them very late, but they're still obviously very good. What else did I find here? 2 million damage from Alien Eyes, which of course eventually becomes very powerful with the HP that you get. HP is one of the easiest stats to boost, so Alien Eyes and similar items become very strong. Almost 80 million damage from the Giant Belt, which is very fun, and 10 million damage from the Greek Fire, so the percent damage-based items doing very well for us. And yeah, Hunting Trophy 222, 116 bonus damage from our Vigilante Rings, and our Anvil never got to tick. Alright, my friends, hope you've enjoyed this run. Sadly, we did not see enough Gobblers to unlock the item, so I will do that off camera and get back to you when I have unlocked it. But, of course, if you have enjoyed the run, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out a ton with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that, and this is for all the endless mode enjoyers out there. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.